Tell us about yourself.
Maybe I'll hold that. I'm Bob Parker. Good evening. Good to be here tonight. I'm Bob Parker. I've said this a lot over the last 4 years. I'm running for Congress here in the 8th District. I'm the guy that has been running for 4 years, and I just kind of wonder where all the interest was in the 8th District seat the last 4 years, because I've kind of been lonely out there on the campaign trail. But it's good to be here tonight, and it's good to meet all the committee folks around the district. Probably myself is better known across the district than most of the other candidates. I certainly spent more time on the road and speaking to committee people and Lincoln Day events and hundreds of events across the 8th District. So people know my name. I've been on the ballot. But you know, what I've talked about, and many of you have heard me speak before, I've talked about we have lost our way, I think, in this country, and we have a government that's too big, it's too expensive, it's too intrusive into our lives. And you know, the Republican Party, we've had some division in the party. We have the Ron Paul faction, we have kind of a Tea Party faction, we have kind of a Republican, more establishment kind of a faction. And one thing I think we need to do, I mean, I know all the factions, worked with all the factions, I mean, talked to them, know them, they've supported my campaign, but we really need to follow the Constitution. I think that's the main thing that we've really kind of lost sight of in this country, is following our Constitution and the rule of law, and stop this government that's gone outside the boundaries of the Constitution. So I look forward to being a part of this process, and I would like to, where's my wife Karen? My lovely wife Karen back there. We've been married 35 years, and she's just been a wonderful part of my life. We have 2 children. I'm not a professional politician. I'm somebody who's had a real job out in the real world, run a farm, run a dairy farm. I know what hard work is, and I'm just tired of seeing what they're doing to our nation and to our values and to our principles, and I want to go and fight for you and represent this district. Thank you.
Okay, in selecting our candidate, we expect to do better. We want Missouri to do better. We are close to losing what has made us strong and what makes America great. Our country is $16 trillion in debt. Our current leader wants a blank check. Joy and Emerson voted yes on what they are calling over the cliff. How do you think that could have been handled differently?
Well, I wouldn't have supported that legislation, and this is one thing I've talked about over the last several years, is when we have an opportunity to negotiate cuts in the budget, real cuts, we need to do that. And we need to take it to the mat, and that's been the failure of our party to do that. We've continued to kick the can down the road, and I've been very concerned about that. So I wouldn't have supported that legislation like it is. I think in the fiscal cliff, the debt limit increase that they're getting ready to do, I think we should use that again as an opportunity to get real cuts in this budget.
Okay. There are 435 districts in the U.S. Our district is rated the 8th poorest. Out of the 9 districts in Missouri, it is rated the poorest. The median income is $27,865, but the household income in Dent County of $32,991. What are your plans to change this?
Well, I live here. I've been a part of our Ozarks economy for 35 years, and I know what a struggle it is in small business with, the regulations that come out of Washington, D.C. and Jefferson City that impact us all in this district. We have EPA that's out of control. I think DNR is out of control, and I think we need to deal with that. I think we really need to impact these regulations. You've had a business. You know what it's like to deal with all the alphabet soup of agencies. I understand that. I've had a job in the real world. I want to go up there and really make a difference. We've got to get the government off our back, not only in Washington, D.C., but also in this state. And we need right to work in this state.
It has been rumored that it's going to take $200,000 to $300,000 to win this race. Are you capable of raising this money? And if so, tell us how you plan to do that.
Well, for one thing, I'm not running against a 30-year incumbency, to raise funds this time. I mean, one of the real problems, and I think that's why so many didn't run in this race, it is very hard to raise funds when you run against an incumbent. And that's the power of the incumbency. That's why 95% of the incumbents get reelected. So I think it'll be much easier to raise money this time around. Anybody who comes out of this process is going to be able to raise enough money, I believe, to beat the Democrat in the general election. I certainly know I can do that, and I look forward to doing that. And I don't think a Democrat has a prayer of getting elected here, as long as we have a strong conservative to represent this district and represent our party.
There's been much talk about gun control. Here in the Ozarks, most of us have and use guns. This level of freedom is something to be thankful for. I killed a squirrel for breakfast this morning. We always wanted to keep this freedom. The person we select, we want to know without a shadow of doubt that person would vote to keep this freedom if it comes to that.
Well, I just tell you, I'm glad to talk about that tonight, because our gun rights are under attack like they had never been under attack before. I'm a gun guy. I was raised with guns. I have a lot of guns. My dad's reloaded. I reload. But the Second Amendment is not about hunting, which drives me crazy when we hear it on TV. It's all about hunting. It's not about hunting. It's about protecting our freedom, and I need more than 10 rounds to protect my freedom, don't you? Okay.
What is your position on stem cell research?
I'm pro-life from conception to natural death. I totally oppose anything that interrupts that process. I'm completely opposed to taxpayer-funded stem cell research, embryonic stem cell research.
Okay, we don't want a candidate that will take the easy path and put tough decisions off for another day. Our children and our grandchildren's futures are at stake. Convince us you wouldn't do that and why you are the best candidate for this vacancy.
The first part of the question was, can you reread?
We don't want a candidate that will take the easy path and put tough decisions off for another day. Convince us you wouldn't do that and why you are the best candidate for this vacancy.
To put substitutions off for a later day? I'm not quite sure what's that? Oh, tough decisions, okay. Well, you know, I'm a guy that's made a lot of tough decisions in my life. I've made a lot of risk in my business, my personal life. I've been outspoken on many issues. Over my life, I'm someone who certainly can make the tough decisions and stand alone. I think that's evident in my background as you look at who I am and what I've fought for over the years. Property rights issues for years and years and years. We've gone against big government. We've worked with local legislators and been to Jeff City many times. So, I've been willing to lay it on the line, put my name on the line. Certainly, I can make tough decisions. Thank you.